Even in the worst of weather, the sky can be a picture of beauty. Sometimes it belies the view down below. This yellow is not exactly a rainbow, but enough to stop traffic. For some, a photo opportunity from afar. Traffic around Jones Primary School comes to a standstill thanks to one big casualty of the ice storm.
That was beautiful. Big trees.
Down for the count, leaving lines dangerously dangling in the street. Power wiped out to nearby homes, among thousands of outages reported countywide.
Trees down, man, everywhere.
Seems all but the sky followed.
Trees, cables, wires, you name it.
Nearby residents say the winds packed a punch.
Yes, very high winds. Furniture on the deck moving around.
It was horrible up in there. There's trees. I just keep watching, wondering which one's going to come down.
Just around the corner, there's another barricade. This one on Pinecroft off Beaver Dam Road. Jennifer Pearson left there only to arrive here, yet another roadblock.
Yes, after just leaving one and then we hit another one. Just get me to Jason's Deli.
The barricades leave motorists searching for silver linings. And after hours without power, some look for storm relief in a bowl.
I'm looking for some French onion soup.
Sad day in the world of bluegrass music, it is.
So many players in mourning, influenced by the greats.
He defined an American music.
When it comes to admirers of the late Earl Scruggs, Mark Pruitt is among the pickers of the bunch. But we could only stay somber for so long.
There's nothing sad about the way a banjo sounds.
You may know the Grammy-winning player from the band Balsam Range. He first met the legend at Canton Junior High when he was just 15, and he became a mentor over the years. Pruitt even visited Earl's house with bluegrass singer Jimmy Martin, together at the table.
He said, "That's Earl Scruggs, right there, that's him." I said, "I know."
And 4 years ago, Scruggs shared a secret.
I said, "Earl, I wonder if you'd mind to show me how you did that little lick in Pike County Breakdown." He said, "Why, I don't mind at all."
Scruggs' legacy, it kind of snuck up on us in the form of a complete stranger. A music lover who literally came out of nowhere, put down his bucket, and did a happy dance on a sad day. Somehow so fitting.
Earl Scruggs brought many people together through the love of the music that he helped create.
Not too many people in history single-handedly shape how music is made, and few instruments will reel in a fisherman quite like this. Scruggs' days on Earth were numbered, but clearly, the magic of the music, the pickin', still has him grinning. In Haywood County, John Lee, News 13.
Well, the idea is to let people know what to expect when they head out the door.
Even before we step outside, the weather forecast is a window to the world.
And we hit 22 degrees this morning.
The highs and lows of local television news.
Roll green.
Here's a look outside. On
Meteorologist Julie Wonder gestures in front of a blank wall
clearing things out.
that looks like this on TV.
Chicago, but we're certainly we're just as cold as a lot of folks farther up to the north.
Take the break.
But you do become a teacher to some extent. I really just think I'm talking to a camera sometimes. You don't really realize the impact you might make.
A barometer of that impact is in Hendersonville, where Logan Heim waits patiently until it's time.
Now, in high definition, this is your News 13 Skywatch forecast.
Once in position, he hangs on every word and repeats as much as he can.
A few more high clouds in the distance, but the next 2 days should actually be predominantly sunny for the area.
Logan is autistic. His mom, Juliet, says meteorology sparked a significant breakthrough.
This boy is 13 years old and he is learning how to talk. And it's really, really exciting.
High 52, low
29.
Several months ago, speech therapist Kara Gregory realized her client's passion for weather.
for the one.
He's so interested in Julie's role there of delivering the weather.
The sunshine is back.
He's really interested in taking on that role himself.
Stay with us to find out.
They use recorded broadcasts as a learning tool.
I'm writing down the sentences in a shorter form that Julie is saying. Will you say the weather for us?
Yes. At 4 o'clock, it will be 52 degrees. At 8 o'clock, it will be 32 degrees.
That was nice and loud.
And along with what he says, Logan also improves non-verbally.
The different things that Julie does when she's saying the weather, the gestures that she uses. He'll even use facial expressions that she's using, and you'll see he's moving his body back and forth. And that's actually a really big deal for people with autism.
Communication is so challenging for him, and there's so much social pressure.
It feels like 23 degrees.
To appreciate where he's standing today, you'd have to look back at nearly a decade of progress. Diagnosed with autism when he was 4.
With Logan, it's always been baby steps. I remember the year that he learned to pronounce the S, and that was his one thing that he learned in that 1 year was pronouncing the S.
Juliet now holds out hope she'll be able to have a conversation with her son one day.
I want to know what his interests are, what his fears are, what his own goals are in life.
They are questions any mom wants to ask.
Is he happy? Is there more we can do to help him?
The unanswered questions lead them here.
It's going to be really exciting.
What's up? Standby 2.
As we told you earlier,
30 seconds.
Meteorologists educate viewers in their own way every day.
Our wind chill was as low as 8.
And while Julie can predict the weather,
So here's your future cast.
she didn't foresee a story like this.
Wow. What do you think? You like it?
Yes.
Is it very cool? Huh?
Hi, Logan.
Hi, Joey.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
For him, this is like Christmas.
Logan meets his TV
Holding the
mentor.
remote. This is the remote that I use. And we have your 7-day, which is always a fun part. The green means go. I'm gonna touch right there.
Once he has the mechanics down,
Hold on to this.
Logan's on his way.
22. Tonight, Saturday, 59. Sunday, 62.
His special day felt like 7.
65.
After years grasping for words,
Thursday, 55.
almost unthinkable that weather speaks to him and that Logan talks back.
Monday, 65. Tuesday, 55.
That's fantastic. Good job.
32. Today.
A reminder of who's watching and who's learning.
It's so touching. I hardly have words for it.
And by the green screen,
42 degrees. Today.
a lesson for all of us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Perfect.
It's just so special to see.
Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome, Logan.
When you look at the motion,
When it comes to kicking, the measure of success is simple.
the perfect kick is one that goes through the uprights. Look at that.
It just might be the most underappreciated play in football.
You know, the athleticism, big thing is leg speed.
The voice of experience.
I can tell you whether it's going to be good, miss to the right or left.
The new assistant coach just might help Irwin go the distance.
Oh!
He told me to get wider on my stance when I do field goals, and it improved it by at least 10-15 yards.
It would be easy to question whether he's even qualified.
Now, that first step with the right foot was long. I cannot physically demonstrate to you what to do. Nice snap.
That's crazy that he knows about kicking, but he is in a wheelchair.
Move your foot in up here when you mark it off.
Well, Evans has been there,
Just trust me, son.
but hasn't done that.
I was born with cerebral palsy that primarily affects the left side of my body. That was all soccer.
He's never kicked a ball before.
Never played it down, but always in the game.
When I was 4 years old, I loved football. I knew I wanted to make my living in football.
His mother made this scrapbook
Never forget these.
of her son's big dreams come true.
Sports Illustrated, this stuff I haven't seen in a long time.
It all started when he was an 8th grader. A Virginia high school coach made Doug a graduate assistant, the closest Doug could ever get to playing.
My knowledge of the game exceeded my classmates that were playing.
And that knowledge helped level the playing field, realizing
That if I was going to make it to the NFL, I'd have to have a specialty.
the man who never walked intent on going pro.
A fine NFL kicker.
The ultimate salesman, he convinced the Jets to hire him as a kicking consultant in '94.
I'm right here.
Eventually hired by Coach Jimmy Johnson of the Miami Dolphins, who hadn't even met his coach. On the first day, Johnson actually thought Blevins was a visitor with special needs. They gave him the royal treatment.
I had a hat and some candy, and then I told him I was Doug Blevins, and he told me I wasn't.
He spent 6 years with the Dolphins.
Yeah, he didn't know.
And privately coached some of the best legs in the biz.
I had to demonstrate to you or demonstrate to the athlete that I knew what I was talking about.
Prized pupils include David Akers, who just set the record for most field goals in a season, and Adam Vinatieri, whose game winner in Super Bowl 36 made him a legend.
We had worked on that over and over.
As a guru, earning many nicknames in the kicking game.
Kicking Yoda, the kick whisperer.
Not bad for the guy whose backup plan was stand-up comedy, which speaks to his outlook on what some call a disability.
I would tell stories about my life and funny things that have actually happened to me, because it's been real comical, it really has.
Sometimes it's a wonder how he finds that humor.
It's been more of an inconvenience in my life than anything else. I've overcome it.
As Blevins rolls in, with each set of players, there's a different set of skepticism, hoping players understand the privilege of just kicking a ball.
I still regret that I won't know what that feels like. Y'all never experienced that. But you can't dwell on that.
It makes me think about a lot of things that I have that I can do that I bet you he wishes he could do.
Hey, Brian, you got a good leg. When you do that, all your power goes.
Doug wasn't a natural-born kicker.
You're not going to miss it, because your leg comes around that way.
All right.
Trust it.
But as a coach, he lives vicariously through his players.
I mean, if somebody in a wheelchair can make it to the NFL.
Yeah, I can live with that, Tyler.
In his own way, splitting the uprights.
Great job, because who would believe it?
At Irwin, John Lee, News 13.
It's a sound wave.
They say you can't always believe what you hear in school.
How do you think the sound goes from here to your ears?
In this case, you have to listen closely. We first went to West Buncombe Elementary to see second graders raise ruckus in the name of science.
Start the sound wave.
But during our shoot,
icy cold milk, it comes out.
Someone compelling popped up.
Recreate sound.
That's Garen shaking up our story.
It creates vibrations in your throat, which turns into sound waves. And you know what we call those sound waves?
What?
Wiggles. We call them wiggles.
But just when we thought he was there for comic relief, everything changed the moment we asked Garen Greiner what his least favorite sound was, which led to the soundbite we never expected.
The sound of somebody screaming.
And it only took a brief burst of audio
She has chemo.
to lead us to the visual we will never forget.
Get you preoccupied, get your mind off of it.
This is what the fight against cancer sounds like.
Okay, do you want to take the hat off?
My little sister Jordan, she's in the hospital.
Just 5 years old.
Do you want to wait for your lunch?
Facing leukemia. Mom Lisa fearing the worst.
It's as though she's given up. And so each day I get up with a different, I pray for a different frame of mind.
Listening for whispers of hope.
You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Deep breath, you can do it.
We met them at Chapel Hill at the Ronald McDonald House, together on an island.
My children have pretty bald heads.
My head's cold.
That's Jordy and Garen when she was 3 years old, first diagnosed before she started losing hair. He is right there with her, trying to make her laugh, and even though he's scared.
That spark of humor is Garen's gift and a source of strength for the whole family.
My dad calls people a really strong beefcake.
All right.
Hi, beefcake.
Now hours apart from Jordan, wishing she were there when he gets off the school bus.
And she just screamed Gary, and it just made me feel really special that she loved me. Sometimes he squeezes me to death when he hugs.
Garen would give anything for a life supply of hugs.
I donated my bone marrow, and why I did it is because I love my sister.
But even a 100% match is no guarantee.
You're just standing up, and the rug just yanked out from underneath you.
Do you feel like moving yet?
The leukemia returned just as she started kindergarten. Jordy recently received her second bone marrow transplant, this time from someone outside the family.
And she just stays upset because she's tired of hurting.
So often, snuggled up in bed,
Season 2.
watching episodes of Full House, longing for the family she sees on TV.
Everybody being together in one house. She lives for that. Lives for that.
Thoughts of Garen bring them closer to home.
I love you all the way around the universe and back.
She said she loves him all the way around the universe and back. Lisa, of course, longs for her son too.
I want to get home as fast as I can. And I love you.
She's a mother torn in so many directions. The roadmap to recovery leaves her lost.
That's all.
Lisa struggles like so many moms in the same position, filled with so much emotion, she can only drop her head.
I'm not surprised that he was the boy that you talked to in that classroom. He gets everybody's attention.
Let's go back to your tables real quick.
Remember, Garen first caught our eyes and ears by touching our hearts in the middle of a lesson about sound. So much more poignant.
Yes.
When we heard this.
I want you to make the sound of her laughing and saying my name.
He'd go to the end of the earth for Jordy.
Long ride for him.
226 miles at a time to Chapel Hill.
Giddy! Bazinga.
What more do you say?
I said bazinga.
Bazinga.
Her prescription for a bear hug finally filled.
It's been a hard day for her health-wise, so she needed this big time.
Maybe a smile transplant will make all the difference.
What's up, Fishy? What's up?
This story began with Garen's study of sound waves. In the worst of times, even everyday racket becomes music to our ears. And when this is your window to the world, it sure means a lot to see Garen on the other side.
They will forever have a bond. Forever, his cells will run through her body. Forever and ever. Tick, tock.
The ticks of the clock can be as slow as Christmas.
It's going in slow motion. What is it, 7 days until Christmas?
Lisa Grice waits for the phone call that could make or break her holiday spirit.
I've been doing this same thing since 2 o'clock this morning. I couldn't go to sleep.
Stop falling.
Her 6-year-old Jordan has leukemia, still full of giggles and full of questions.
Why are you looking at me?
Good vibes, good vibes.
Meanwhile, Lisa anticipates a call that could bring her answers.
So we want to know the big R.
The R stands for remission.
Because if it's not the big R, then we need to know what we're going to do.
Last year, Jordan had her second bone marrow transplant. She's battled cancer half of her life.
Nah, my head's cold.
Years marked by telling telephone conversations.
Just go ahead and expect the worst, then I'll be really, really excited.
Time spent waiting can be so cruel.
So we're kind of just waiting on pins and needles to get the results, so.
At least Jordan can laugh.
I'll take a sip of this cold coffee.
But what if doctors say a third transplant is necessary?
The third time, I don't know how they keep going. I don't know that your body can keep doing all that.
As a mother, she considers every heartbreaking holiday possibility.
Yeah, we'll have to, because she'll have to go right then. They'll, like, get a room ready at the ICU, and we will go to the cancer hospital and talk about her new regimen.
Lisa can't wait by the phone any longer. Instead, calling them.
No evidence of any leukemia.
Okay, so far it looks good.
No leukemia.
I'm just trying to breathe.
So all she wanted this Christmas finally delivered. Just what the doctor ordered. Priceless tears of joy. And at a time when we hope for peace on earth, it sure does help to have a little peace of mind.
What?